So, hi and good morning, guys. Welcome to the talk show. So, today we have four guests that will be joining us and will talk about sports. As you guys know, it is important to always stay healthy and stay fit. Hopefully, the things that they will be talking about can be useful for some of you who needs to know more about sports. As you guys know, it is important to always stay fit and also stay healthy. So, sports are one of the things that everyone should participate in or do. However, in sport, there might also be the disadvantages and also the advantages that all people will face. So today I am happy to introduce four of our guests, which is Molika, Nesan, JC, and also Pavitra. So they will talk about all of that, which is what is sport, what does it do. So let's start off with our topic today, which is sports. So let's move on with Molika to talk about the introduction of sports.
Thank you, Amirun. Today I will talk about introduction of sport. Sport possesses a fundamental job in our life. It keeps us fit, solid, and makes us dynamic. The key to having a sound and positive way of life is to have a positive brain and body. Sport is one such movement which helps us in keeping a legitimate constitution and a positive mindset. Aside from keeping a solid body and physique, sport additionally help us in alarming our faculties, keeps us mindful and adopting character and point of view. Hence, sport has a multi-layered job in our life. Understudies in school are approached to compose exposition on the subject of sport for their taste and tasks. Sport is such an activity that it can be taken up by anyone at any age and any point in life. Adults, children, and elders, everyone alike can take part in sport. Many regard sport as a curricular or extracurricular activity in school. However, in reality, sport play an equally important role as does education in a person's life. To achieve to, a- to, to achieve overall and all-around development in life, one should be well versed in both sport and culture. Thank you.
Okay, so that is a really good explanation from Molika about the introduction of sports. So I have a question for you, Molika.
Yes.
Do you think grown-ups should play games?
I believe game and age have no connection. One can play any game whenever they like. It is the best way to do a physical exercise with some emotional advantage as well.
All right, that is a really good answer. So let's move on with the advantages of sports. So let's start off with Nesan.
Yeah. The advantage of sport is participatingly is a game can help us to feel better, fitter, and mentally stronger. That is a beginning thing. Game can likely be fun, particularly when had a impact of group of family or friends. Firstly, we should have a better sleep. When we play sport at outside, we can get benefit from fresh air, which is say promote a good night's sleep. Continually, we can also develop strong relationship. Sport enables us to build a better relationship with people might we know about. Through frequent sport, we can become a more acquainted with a great deal about a person's character, their strengths, and their weakness. Sport with a partner is a good chance to build a connection and network that might help us in our work.
All right, so another good explanation about sports, which is the advantages from Nesan. So I have a question for you too, which is
Yeah.
what are the advantages of playing sports, Nesan?
The benefit of playing sport can include a healthy heart, reduce stress, reaches our social life, will lower blood pressure, will improve mental health, reduce risk our sleep.
All right, thanks, Nisan. So let's move on with the disadvantages of sports from Jesse.
Okay, now I wanted to talk about the disadvantage of sports. For the very first, there are many disadvantages to playing sports, including potential injuries, time commitment, bullying, delusions about the future, strained relationship, inflated egos, poor self-esteem, expense, and intense pressure. Many of them affect both children and adults, and they may impact both professional athletes and those who play amateur sports. Physical injuries are one of the most cited disadvantages of playing sports. No matter the athlete's age, sports, or ability level, they can come from not warming up, overuse of a body part, impact during play, or poor training. Other than that, sports typically require a large time commitment, which may leave the athlete with little time for other activities. Practices, training, team meetings, games, meets, matches, and sometimes even traveling may be involved. While playing sports can teach children and adults many positive lessons, it can also lead to negative behavior like bullying. Sometimes it comes from a coach who berates and belittles his or her athletes. Sometimes it comes from one team to another, or even from an athlete towards an umpire or referee. Moreover, delusions about the future typically apply to children, teens, and young adults. For example, a young person may be a superior athlete in high school, so they may ignore their studies in favor of training, assuming they will become a professional. If they don't become a pro, they may not have the skills or education to succeed beyond the field. Playing sports can build Playing sports can build relationships, but it can also put a strain on them. Friends who play against each other may become too competitive. People who devote a great deal of time to their sports, such as those training for Olympics, may not have much spare time to spend with friends and family. If a person is a good athlete, it may inflate his or her ego or make them feel superior to others. From childhood to adult professionalism, good athletes are often put on a pedestal by the people around them and society as a whole. This can affect the athlete's personality in a negative way and affect his or her relationship with others. As a player, we face all of these disadvantages while being in sports. Each of every player need to overcome all of this.
All right, thanks, Jesse. That is a really good explanation and a very specific explanation for the disadvantages of sports. So, and I have a questions for you too. What do you think is the disadvantages in playing sports?
In my opinion, I will have to say there will be injuries, danger, and the toll they can take on the body and the mind too.
All right. That is a really good answer. So there we go. The advantages and also the disadvantages of sport. However, as Jesse said, even if there are disadvantages, you can prevent it from happening. Not only disadvantages, but there seems to be more advantages than disadvantages in sports. As Monica said, sports is such an activity that it can be taken up by anyone at any age and at any point in life. Adults, children, elders, everyone alike can take part in sports. No matter what the age is, anyone can participate in any sports anywhere, anytime. So take note of what they said because I'm sure it will be useful one day to all of the people who are watching. And I just want to add that during this pandemic, most of the people can't go out because of COVID-19. Furthermore, you can only go out to buy important things to break the COVID-19 chain. This makes me sad and also other people that loves to do outdoor activities. This can also be one of the disadvantages for some of the sports because people can't go outside nowadays. So let's just pray that COVID-19 to be gone quickly. So let's move on with Pavitra with the conclusion for our topic for today, which is sports.
Thank you, Amirun. Okay, I would like to talk about conclusion of the sports. Okay, in conclusion, sports are the best and beneficial for us as it is teaching us to have a good stamina, punctuality, discipline, teamwork, and also dedication. Hence, sport also must be done carefully and in a proper way to avoid muscle strain. Besides, sports help us to increase and improve our confidence. Furthermore, we as a human being must keep up with a good healthy lifestyle by having sports activity frequently. We cannot always win, and losing is not the worst. The thing is that we have to know how to accept a victory, and also we have to know how to accept a defeat too.
All right, thanks for the explanation, Pavitra. And I have one last question for you, which is what country has competed the most times in the Summer Olympics yet hasn't won a gold medal yet?
Okay, this question is actually very tough to me. But as I know, is the Philippines.
Yeah. That is correct. Most of the people can answer this question, but you managed to answer it. Congratulations. So, all right, there you go from Pavitra. She talks about the conclusions. Sadly, our show has come to an end. That is all from my dearest guests, our participants for today's talk show, which is about sports. So whatever good they say, take it in a positive way and make sure to make a good use of it. And I'm sure that most of the people are struggling nowadays because of this pandemic. What I can say is the least you can do is to work out at home, which is people usually call it as home workout. However, you might need some equipment to buy, and there are a lot of equipment that you can find through online. And that is all from us. Thank you for watching. And I wanted to thank to our dearest guests, which is Monica, Nesan, Pavitra, and also JC. And all of them talk about sports, and you guys are really awesome. And I really hope to see you again in the future. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Bye.